likes to show off.
Unless what they're showing off is dope as fuck.
Fuck. That's true.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerds New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka Peter Popoff, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Chief Shark.
I had to throw that in there. Plus, technically, he's native, so he's kinfolk, kind of.
I suppose, yeah, or
I suppose
the son of a god or something like that.
Hey, we put him on the list. We put him on the list. We're claiming him.
We're claiming him.
And we're back with the episode. We're going to jump into it. Yes, everybody that's seen the title of what this episode is, this is what we're going to talk about. Eli, I cut you off right before we were about to record. Was there something you had to say, want to say, or?
Oh, I was just saying we should shout out to my boss, clarify what happened about the artwork.
Quick house cleaning, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
So last
week, honestly, I didn't know, so I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
So last week we revealed some original artwork done by Keith Jim, I've been working with on a book together. But he was commissioned to do this art piece for us. And it turns out that it was my boss. My boss and his girlfriend, they messaged us and said it was supposed to be a surprise, that they were sending us prints of this original art done by Keith. And it's supposed to be a surprise, but we sort of miscommunication, and I guess the surprise was kind of ruined. But it turns out like Keith actually contacted us about getting our pictures.
Right, because it was like I remember you said it was kind of out of nowhere, but yeah,
because I didn't know it was all of a sudden Keith just like, hey man, I'm doing an art piece for you guys. Do you have any pictures that I could use so I could use for the art piece? So me and Leroy both sent them pictures, and so we kind of knew he was doing something anyways. We just didn't know who it was from and what it was, what the whole deal was until you guys messaged us. So again, we apologize, but we do. Hey, thanks a lot. Props to you guys for being such big fans. And I look forward to seeing. It's a really cool piece, and I look forward to getting it and framing it, and making. And I think
not holding my boss feet to the fire on this. He did say that he was going to mail us prints of those.
Yeah.
So if it happens, I really appreciate it. Definitely send it my boss. Also, Eli, I think I kind of called it, even though, like last time we talked about, like, this seems like a lot like my boss hand might have been in it. It's just the stuff that was in there, the whole black and red thing, the whole bull behind it. It felt like something my boss do. I was like, this feels like my boss. It has his signature on it. So, and it turns out that's exactly what it was. So yeah, good job on that, my boss.
Yeah, it looks really cool. We thank you, and I'm stoked to get this in the mail again. So
yeah. So all right. So yeah, let's just jump into it. Before we jump into Suicide Squad, everybody wants to jump into Suicide Squad, but I want to do some quick house cleaning going on first.
Okay.
First I want to do some music reviews, Eli.
Okay.
Just quick. I'm just gonna jump into it because that's something we don't do, but I kind of want to get into it a little bit more. First off, I want to recommend everybody Nas' new album, King's Disease 2. One of my favorite, maybe my favorite. He's up there in that list. He just dropped this album this week. Love it. Awesome. But here's the thing, Eli. That's not the album everybody was looking for. The album everybody was looking for was actually Kanye West, who was supposed to drop, but never dropped. And he's been saying he's going to drop before COVID hit, but it hadn't hit. So he did put out an actual, and this is what he's wearing now. This is his thing he's doing now. I don't know what that is. But
Ghostface Killer.
Yeah, his like Ghostface Killer, but it's like pantyhose on top of his head or something. I don't know what's going on. He did an album release party with no album. He just kind of like danced around, singing to himself while being lifted in the air by strings or something with smoke. And So what he did, like in the stadium that he performed the album release party with no album, he said he's gonna lock himself there until the album is complete. But he's not doing the album. He's just taking selfies in the room. You know, he's doing like workout gym pics in the room. That's supposed to be him, I guess, or his bodyguard. I don't know, it's somebody, you know. So my thing is, what does all this have to do with the album? Just drop the album. I know what you're thinking, Eli. Didn't we cancel Kanye? No, we didn't cancel Kanye. Yes, we know about.
I heard he's uncancelable or whatever.
He's uncancelable. I think that's a word I made up. I don't know what it is. Yes, the MAGA hat, all the slavery is a choice, all this stuff he said. It doesn't matter. If he give us a hot enough album, we don't care. We would just go with it. We just want it. You know, that's the thing with Kanye. So it's weird. We just want the album. Stop doing this weird shit. Just drop the album. But everybody thinking because he has a divorce, it's supposed to be the greatest album ever. He's free from the Kardashian shackles or whatever.
I saw a meme of him that him floating in the air. It's a meme that said, "Yeah, Kanye escaping the sunken place."
I didn't see that.
Oh, shit.
Oh man. And so, but yeah, that's my thing. And you know what? People are saying that Kanye fans are so delusional that probably what's going to end up happening is that Kanye is going to drop a blank CD with no music in it, and it's just going to have the words on it. Now imagine the music. And, you know, and my dumb ass would be like, I can hear it.
You're like Kung Fu Panda. The secret to Kung Fu is it's in you.
It's in me the whole time. Like, oh, wow.
It's a reflection. It's just the mirror. It's you.
Right.
You're the secret.
Eli, you ever seen Pootie Tang?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen because Pootie Tang did the exact same shit. We went in the studio, no music, no nothing, and it was the biggest hit of all time because people just assuming Pootie Tang dropped music. And like and they kept calling him a genius, even though there's no music.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, past that, can we get to the nitty gritty? Can we get the meat of it?
Sure.
We actually got people listening in, so yeah, we're gonna just jump into it. So, like I said, if you're listening to it, you probably saw on the banner we say we're gonna do a Suicide Squad review, and that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a Suicide Squad review. Now, normally when we do these things, we normally talk about where we saw the movie. We know where you saw the movie. Eli, where did you see the movie?
Right here in my living room.
Exactly. Where did I see it? On my phone. No, I actually watched it on TV. I didn't go that bad, but yeah, I watched it on TV. So yeah,
movie theaters are basically living rooms, anyways. You can get a beer, you can get food and burgers and the reclining seats. It's like your couch or whatever. It's like a movie. It's like a living room, anyways.
Your theater. Not the theater we go to, not in Mississippi. I'm going to out of state theaters, and I've seen how it was. They get serves you pizza and beer and, you know, steak, and like, and we go back home to Mississippi. I'm like, we don't get any of this shit, you know. So, but no, I'm sitting at home watching it. As soon as I got off work, Suicide Squad was right there. Got a chance to watch it. I do want everybody to know that it was #1 in the theaters this week, but it only did like 26 million, which is actually lower than any other HBO Max release this year, including Godzilla vs. Kong.
Damn.
Which came out months ago. I think the only movie it beat was Mortal Kombat. You know, Space Jam beat it. Some other movies beat it. Can't remember what beat it, but that's what's going on right now. So sad to hear. We don't know the numbers on HBO Max or whether or not it did or not, but hopefully it did enough.
Rated R, so yeah.
It is rated R, so that does going to hold some things back also. I think they said as far as rated R, it's the #1 rated R theatrical release, you know, after COVID, you know, in this post-COVID world we live in now. But yeah, that's going on right now. So before we actually get into the review, Eli, I wanted to drop a few Easter eggs that I wanted to just jump into real quick. But like I said, this is actually whatever we think about the movie. I do want to say this about the movie. I feel like this is the most DC movie DC has ever made because it's crammed with Easter eggs in there. It's crammed with DC stuff like, hey, look at that. Hey, I recognize that. Like the characters in the movie, every single character in this movie is a character from the comics, well, except for a handful of notifications, which I will address. First off, I want to make this one. Weasel. Weasel is a Firestorm villain. Savant is a Batman / Birds of Prey villain. Captain Boomerang, we already know he's a Flash villain. King Shark, which we talk about, I'm pretty sure, in depth, actually surprisingly is not an Aquaman villain.
No.
He's a Superman villain, a Superboy villain, even
He's-
though he does fight,
Yeah.
you know, Aquaman from time to time. You know?
Yeah, and he's shown up on the Flash TV show.
He's shown up on everything. DC loves King Shark. He's been on
Harley
the Flash.
Quinn. Yeah.
He was on Harley Quinn. He's in this movie. He's in that new Suicide Squad video game coming out next year. He's been in the DC. So any adaptation they have, King Shark will show up. Meanwhile, we can't get a Superman sequel for shit. But they love fucking King Shark. Well, anyway, I digress. Let's move on. Ratcatcher 2 is a Batman villain, but actually Ratcatcher 2 actually doesn't exist. It's only Ratcatcher 1. Ratcatcher 1 never had a daughter. But anyway, it's a Batman villain. Moving forward, Polka Dot Man, Batman villain. Old school Batman villain. Around the 1960s, Adam West times when he showed up.
Did he pop up in the Lego Batman movie as just like a joke?
Yes, he was. He was in the Lego Batman movie along with Conor McKing, which I'm glad Conor McKing wasn't in this movie because I would have been hurt if they killed him. So Harley Quinn, we know Harley Quinn. Bloodsport, Superman villain. Like I said, we addressed that in there. Peacemaker. Peacemaker is a little different. Okay, let me take some time to explain Peacemaker. Now, Peacemaker actually isn't even originally a DC character. He's a Charleston character that's created by the late great Steve Ditko, you know, the same creator of Spider-Man, same creator of Doctor Strange. The thing about Peacemaker is that it's the same way he is. He kills for peace and all the stuff like that. He's actually the inspiration for the comedian in Watchmen. I'm trying to see if I can find it, but I can't find it. Fuck. Oh well, doesn't matter. Yeah, he's the inspiration for the comedian in Watchmen. So that's the thing about
yeah, well, didn't Alan Moore want to use those characters first before he created the Watchmen?
Right, that's the thing. So Alan Moore wanted to take all of those characters that was from the Charleston era, like The Question, Blue Beetle, Peacemaker. It's a big one. Captain Atom. He wanted to make those characters. He wanted to make them be the Watchmen. DC saw what he was going to do. Like, no. So basically, he made his own versions that was based off those characters. That's why The Question looks like Rorschach, Captain Atom looked like Dr. Manhattan, and Peacemaker like a comedian. Which is why at the end, when Rick Flag says the Peacemaker, what a joke, that was a nod to the to the comedian Peacemaker whole thing. So little Easter egg right there. Moving forward, we're just gonna breeze through the rest of these guys. What else we got here? Blackguard is a Booster Gold villain. Mongal is a Superman villain, but she's also the daughter of Mongul. But he's got a bunch of kids, so it doesn't really matter what happens to her. Javelin is a Green Lantern villain because he's yellow, and Green Lantern's weakness was yellow. So there you go. TDK is a weird one. The Detachable Kid, he's actually was created just for this movie. However, he has the same powers as Arm Fall Off Boy, who had the powers to remove his arm and beat people with his arm. So that's the thing. And Milton was Milton. Stop with the Easter egg digging in YouTube videos. Who is Milton? Where he came from? Nobody cares. Milton was Milton. Let it go. So that's my thing. And what is this? Oh, yeah. Another Easter egg I'm just do right quick. The Corto Maltese. The Corto Maltese Island itself is an Easter egg because it's actually created by Frank Miller in The Dark Knight Returns. It's the first time Corto Maltese was ever mentioned. It also showed up again briefly later in Batman 89, that book that Vicky Vale gave to the Joker, and that was referenced in the Corto Maltese also. So ever since then, Corto Maltese kind of just popped up as the default third.
The Arrow show too.
It was on Arrow also, Corto Maltese, also on Young Justice. It shows up pretty much always out of continuity in DC universes, but like I said, just having the Corto Maltese there is a thing. Also, Starro. We got to talk about Starro. He is actually the first Justice League villain that they ever fought. The one they've gotten together. So basically, Starro is the Justice League Loki. Funny thing is, Zack Snyder says Starro was too goofy to ever put in one of his movies. And here he is in James Gunn's movie. So screw you, Zack Snyder. Release a Snyder cut. I think that's all the Easters I got for that one. So I think we can just jump into this bad boy. Eli, you want to go first? I want to go first.
Don't matter.
Let me go first. I'll go first. I'll talk about it because I think you want to talk about the movie and go into detail with. So I'm gonna just briefly talk about what I want to talk about this movie. So, like I said, what I talked about this movie, it was the most DC movie DC has ever made. is the most James Gunn movie James Gunn has ever made in a comic book movie. Like I said, I think somebody online said that they pretty much gave James Gunn $100 million in a bag of cocaine, told him to go make a movie. So that's what he did. You can tell the leash is off when he made this movie.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know what this you know what this movie is, Eli? This is the biggest budget trauma movie ever made. Most people don't know what most people don't know what trauma is. This is one of those trauma movies. This is one of those exploitation 80s B movies. Everything about this screamed 80s to me. This is the 80s. You know, it's an action, sci-fi, fantasy comic book movie, bloody, R-rated, all the stuff like that. That's all that stuff was back in the 80s. That's what they did here. He brought that sensibility with him. This movie is different from the last movie because, like I said, the last movie felt like a Will Smith / Margot Robbie vehicle. In this movie, it didn't feel like anybody just stood out, and I think that was done on purpose. It felt like it was an ensemble cast. It didn't feel like it was the Idris Elba movie. It didn't feel like it was the Margot Robbie movie. It just felt like it was a movie with characters in it, but nobody had way more screen time than the other person. Everybody got a chance to shine equally in this. Trying to think what else I can say about that. Everybody played their parts awesome. The people that came back were awesome. Viola Davis, I loved in the first one. She's back here. Margot Robbie, I don't want to hear anybody saying this was Margot Robbie's best portrayal of Harley Quinn in this movie. No, that's false because she kills in every role she's in. She's been the linchpin of the DCU. She's been pretty much the best thing that has came out of this whole experiment of the DCU, whether or not it continues or not. Every time Margot Robbie shows in the movie, she kills it. She kills it in this one too. So even with less screen time she had in other movies, she still kills it. Idris Elba kills it as Bloodsport. He is different from what Will Smith did. He pretty much has like a what the fuck is going on, face through the entire movie, which works for what's going on because, like I said, weird shit happens in this movie. Giant shark man fights a giant psychic starfish. That's not even the weirdest shit that happens in this movie, but yeah, like I said, and the funny thing is, Eli, I've been online, even though I know this is my review, I do have to mention that I'm seeing online that a lot of people on my timeline actually not even liking this movie. I think this movie might have crossed the threshold of what people will accept from a movie. Like I said, giant shark fighting a psychic starfish, maybe crossing the line. A crocodile man in the sewer, they can deal with that. Giant shark,
Watching BET, yeah.
Watching BET, it's right at the line. But this one, they're just like, too far. They saying it's too corny. They're saying it's too far out there, And I think that's fine. I mean, like I said, this is a comic book podcast. We review comic books. As far as comic books go, this is just a Tuesday for us. This just
I think that it's all totally intentional,
Right, it's all totally intentional. This is the movie. James Gunn made the movie he set out to make. That's the thing. And it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but that's okay. Everybody can like different stuff. So, but they made the movie I think they made. So you can't knock him for me. It's not like he set out to make something and gave us something else. The movie he advertised is the movie he gave us. So that's what I think about that. So I'm gonna give it a score. I'm gonna slap a score on it. 4 out of 5. I don't think it's not my favorite comic book movie of all time. It's not even my favorite DCEU movie all the time. I think Aquaman was still a better movie. That's just me. As far as like pacing wise, because I think because as much crazy shit has happened in this movie, it is a slow burn, which actually kind of shocked me.
That's about the only critique that I have. Like there was a couple of lulls. It was a little long. I think it was about 15 minutes too long. But yeah, those are just minor criticisms for me anyways.
Yeah, that's my thing on this. So other than that, yeah, I thought it was an awesome movie. I saw it twice. I tried to watch it 3 times, but I think somebody kept calling me stuff like that and implemented my 3rd time. But 2 times I saw it, I liked it. I saw things I didn't notice before that I caught the 2nd time. Even the main bad guy of the movie, but I'll explain that in a second. Eli, you got anything else to add before I add anything else?
Well, yeah, I mean, I loved it. This might be my favorite new DCEU era movie. Right over Aquaman.
Well, my thing is with Aquaman is that the pacing of Aquaman was a lot better. I'm trying to think did Aquaman have any lull moments. I didn't think so. Now, if anything, Aquaman had, it was too fast paced.
It was cheesy. It was totally cheesy. But then again, I kind of
It's Aquaman.
Yeah, it's Aquaman, and like nobody likes this guy, so let's turn this thing into the dumbest, dopiest, biggest, epicest, action-packed, stupid shit of all time. And that's
it was Lord of the Rings in the water. It was like, how can you not like that? I mean,
yeah. So, but I liked it. I liked that it was rated R. It was a lot of fun. It was funny. It made me laugh. It pushed the violence. I liked that it was able to relish in the gore, which, being a horror movie guy, I'm all about the blood.
And it feels like the blood was needed here. The gore was needed here. Like when we talked about Birds of Prey, even though, like I said, I like Birds of Prey. I was awesome movie, but did it have to be rated R? You could have trimmed some stuff in there, and it didn't really have to be. Where this one, to make the movie that James Gunn wanted to make, it had to be that.
Well, that's the thing is, Birds of Prey didn't push it the way it could have. Like this pushed it. Like Deadpool pushes it. Logan pushes it. Like I feel Birds of Prey was kind of holding back a little bit. Or like Venom. Venom should have that's what Venom should have did, or Bloodshot should have did. It was totally gold.
Yeah, I knew it almost got you.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's like this is James Gunn unhinged, unleashed, doing whatever the fuck he wants, and it worked. Yeah, it was really cheesy and goofy, which I think is what he does best. Yeah, coming from trauma, working on trauma movies, this is what he does best. It almost at times felt like it was kind of like a farce or a parody,
Almost. It was almost going there, but it didn't quite go there.
Yeah, but like he was sort of poking fun at comic book movies, but I like that about it. I like that he was taking these characters that we're not really familiar with, at least not me. I'm not really familiar with any of the characters in this movie. Like some of them I never even heard of, but like taking these characters that are like sort of unfamiliar, the D-list characters, and making them matter, and that's what he's good at. He's like with the Guardians of the Galaxy. He takes these bands of misfits, these outcasts, and having them find a deeper meaning in life, and I like that he had the two teams. Like the first team at the beginning gets killed off right away.
Right. That was shocking to me. That really was shocking to me. That's why I'm glad nobody spoiled that for me. And it was like it's like a war movie, because the beginning of the movie was the beach scene. Yeah. Like in Private Ryan, stuff like that. Yeah. So
yeah, but he takes like these characters. I mean, that's the thing is we saw the roster, we saw the promotion for this movie, all these characters that he was promoting, they all had their posters, they all like, Pete Davidson as this guy, Nathan Fillion as this guy, and like, all these actors, Michael Rooker, and like all these like people that he's worked with before are in this movie, and a bunch of them just get killed in the first 5 minutes.
Like he even frames it like Michael Rooker is going to be the star of the movie.
The main character, and he gets killed.
He's the first guy to get killed, or one of the guys to get killed.
And then the bird's eating his brains I thought that was hilarious because he killed the bird.
It's a call because he killed the bird at the beginning. Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
And did you notice a theme? Like there's always birds in these movies getting killed. You ever notice that?
I know there's
like
a
in
lot
the
of
other scene. Yeah,
there's a lot of like dark humor, in a lot of James Gunn's movies. That's just how he's got a fucked up sense of humor. That's why he got fired in the first place from Disney.
And why DC snatched him up the moment he got fired, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I like that, he sets up this team and then they get killed right away. And it's almost like he's making light of these characters, sort of pointing out or acknowledging how dumb comic books can be, how dumb and cheesy they can be. But at the same time, to us fans, that these stories are important to us. And then the rest of the movie proceeds to show us and highlight how these characters can have meaning and can have like emotional story arcs. And, these dumb, cheesy characters mean a lot to the fans, and that's what he does. He takes these misfit characters and pumps all this heart into it. Like in the end, it's like a heartfelt drama. We have the character arc between Bloodsport and his daughter.
Right. And even like He even treats Ratcatcher 2 like his surrogate daughter, you know,
Yeah.
in the movie pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, and like him being afraid of rats, and then at the end the rat is on his sleeping on
And
his lap or
he
whatever.
pets the rat. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the rat saved him, you know. Yeah.
And then King Shark, who stole the show for me. He was the Groot. He was the Groot of this movie, and you know, I love sharks. You know, Thrash Jaws is my fucking gaming name. I love.
You are the target demographic.
Yeah, I was all about King Shark in this movie. I loved him. He was like the highlight for me. But even that, you know, he stole the show. He was like, yeah, the funnier Groot, the more brutal, violent, gory Groot. I mean, just eating everybody, which I loved and thought it was hilarious. But he wanted to be friends. He didn't have a family, and he found a family. He found friends. He was able to, you know, make a connection, you know, and that's like the core of James Gunn's characters. You know, he's this monster. He's like the Frankenstein, this outcast that doesn't fit in anywhere, but then he's able to find a family and make connections and have a relationship with, you know, his fellow outcasts, which I thought was like the core theme to the whole movie, you know. Bloodsport and Peacekeeper, how they had their rivalry, you know, they had
right.
that
and they really tried to drive it home. Like a lot of times you see like Peacekeeper on the right and Bloodsport on the left, and they're always almost mirroring each other, doing the same thing. So yeah.
I mean, they had the rivalry, they had the kill competition with that scene, which was another hilarious moment when they're just
right, which was actually kind of fucked up when you think about it. Afterwards, that's on the second.
But it was so
like a guy was taking a piss and they shot him, you know.
Or how when Peacekeeper goes, the guy's sleeping, he just goes
right.
like he's beating dough, like pizza dough. I was just laughing my ass off. But again, it's like but it's almost making references to like comic books and how comic book fans are always pitting superheroes against each other, like, you know, Hulk versus the Thing or Superman versus Shazam. It's like another like references, like here's Peacekeeper versus Bloodsport. And I thought that was hilarious. And of course, Harley was great. Again, she always kills it. But I think
now, my thing is, I don't know if I think Harley just being in this movie actually slowed the pace down of the movie, because her story was so different from the rest of the story that was going on, because it felt like a B plot that really had nothing to do with anything that was going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think people were. Yeah, I think she was the star of the last one, or one of the stars of the last one, and I think she was sort of like really secondary, you know. But the parts that she was in, I think as a character, you know, and I think that's why
it added to her character. Yeah, that's the thing.
I think that's why people are saying this is the best we've seen her, is because she's grown so much. We've seen her grown, and in every movie she makes steps towards this, you know, emotional growth. And like, you know, she ends up killing the dude because of the red flag, you know.
Right, but if you've seen the other movies, you understand why she do it. Yeah, like if you just walk into this movie and never see anything and she shot that guy, you're like, what? She crazy as hell. But if you know Harley, it makes sense. And that's the crazy thing. Like, and she said, I need to do the healthy thing and kill you.
I didn't even think this was loaded.
Right.
You know, and then they all come and surround her. She's like, yeah. I thought that was great. But then the flowers, when she goes on the shootout and she's shooting up everybody, and then she sees all the flowers exploding. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
because
in her mind, right?
That's not only is it like focusing on her mania and her like insane point of view, but I mean, I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but I kind of felt like, you know, James Gunn was kind of getting a little bit of Stanley Kubrick esque here, where he was like sort of how Clockwork Orange sort of makes a commentary on, you know, violence as art and entertainment, how we question, like meant to question, why are we entertained by violence, you know? And here's Harley Quinn shooting up all these guys, and instead of blood and brains, it's flowers bursting out.
Right,
you know?
Because that's the thing. Because in Harley, if you think about it, for her, violence is euphoric for her.
Yeah,
it's as when she's at peace, when she's causing destruction and chaos.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with Harley, and it was like that. You know, it's It was an awesome scene. Like every scene Harley had in this was an awesome scene.
Yeah.
And that was one of my favorite scenes in it, just where her just chopping up people and shooting them and machine gunning them and stuff like that. So like, yeah, that was awesome. Just glad she was in it.
Yeah.
So
I just like that because if it would have just been brains and blood, it would have been fine. But the fact that we're seeing flowers and this sort of chaotic, damaged beauty of violence,
And I can't remember the song that was playing over it. It was like a certain song that was playing.
There was a bunch of like songs that were like, I can't remember what was song, but the Jim Carroll, The People Who Died, which was at the beginning of the movie. The people who died. That was in Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, which James Gunn wrote the script for. So I thought that I was making that Easter egg, that connection.
Okay, it's all connected.
Yeah. But yeah, I think in the end, I think James Gunn was basically saying "fuck you" to Disney with this movie.
Oh, that's somebody. I think I saw online that there's like a more specific reference to that. Now you can read this in what you want. Rick Flag was wearing like through the entire movie was wearing a Bugs Bunny shirt. Okay.
Oh no shit.
So yeah, he's wearing a Bugs Bunny shirt, and I think what the shirt says like obstacles meet opportunity or introduce opportunity, something like that. Basically like a fuck you to Disney. That's what a lot of people read.
Yeah, I'm about to watch that shit. But yeah, Warner Brothers let him off the leash. They let him do whatever he wanted. He had all these fucked up jokes about killing kids.
Right.
Weasel. Oh, Weasel ate 27 children, and all this over the top cartoony violence, just basically doing everything Marvel wouldn't let him do.
Right.
So I thought that was great. So
and that's the thing. He signed up for the movie. He was like, I will sign up if you make it rated R and get the fuck off my back. You are not gonna do me like you did Zack Snyder. You're not gonna do me like you did David Ayer. You get the fuck off my back. Let me make what I want to make and just go from there. And and you can feel that this movie has a voice. This doesn't feel like a movie by committee. Like the last Suicide Squad was. Like you could tell that movie was chopped to pieces. This one felt like it was James Gunn's movie. It was his narrative. It was his voice. So let's talk about that. Now let's talk about the bad guy of the movie.
Okay.
The movie is nothing but bad guys. The movie is nothing but villains, but there's a very specific villain in this movie that everybody seems to be ignoring, and that's the United States of America.
Oh yeah.
They're the villains of the movie. That's
the
why,
government, the man,
government, the man, the system. That's the thing. People keep talking about. I see a lot of reviews about this also. Like, I'm so glad this Suicide Squad movie isn't woke and it doesn't have a political agenda. I'm like, this movie probably is more political than a lot of other superhero movies you complain about. Like Captain Marvel's not political. This is political. The whole movie is about how the United States government uses a third world country to do their dirty work. This is shit they do. Look up Ronald Reagan, and I'm not talking about the shit they show on Fox News. Really look at this shit he did back in the 80s with Nicaragua, with all the shit he was flying with the Contras. All the shit he was right. Yeah, they want to blame this shit on all the drug dealers in Harlem and Compton, shit like that. They had to get it from somewhere. They didn't fly it over here. Somebody had to fly that shit over.
Well, it's funny because Corto Maltese is sort of a reference or like a callback to Argentina, which is where a bunch of Nazis went and hid out after World War II. They all went to South America. That's referenced in the X-Men movies and shit.
Right.
When Magneto goes to South America to find those Nazis in the beginning of First Class,
Right.
So that's what Corto Maltese was basically this South American country that Nazis hid out at. That's where
they say it in the movie. They say it in the movie. Yeah.
The Heim.
Jotunheim. Yeah.
That's what Jotunheim was a Nazi hideout. And then the U.S. paid this foreign country to kick the Nazis' ass, and the U.S. put them in power. And so the U.S. could hide this alien and keep it under wraps and do all these fucked up experiments on their people.
Meanwhile, they know, and they know that the government in Corto Maltese is a corrupt system, corrupt government.
Yeah.
But they turn a blind eye to it.
We know
you're doing fucked up shit.
That shit America does all the time.
Yeah. How many 80 movies have we seen where at the time Iraq was the good guys? Where they're teaming up with Rambo, teaming up with James Bond, you know. But you
Yeah.
fast forward and now they're the bad guys at the same time. We were funding them. Why?
The
Because
CIA
they was against the Russians. Yeah.
Back the CIA and the heroin and Vietnam, the drug dealing and South America. Google Pablo Escobar and see the shady shit America.
Yeah, right. Now I know you guys think. Yeah, I know you're thinking we're left field. We're conspiracy theory. We are not conspiracy theorists. This shit is in writing. It's everywhere.
This is just history, man.
This is just history. That's all it is. This is not something we're digging up. We are not flat earthers. This shit is this shit is out there. Just look it up. And James Gunn knows it, and it's the shit he's talking about in this movie. They're sending it. Yeah.
And what's fucked up now that I'm thinking about it, after they release, after they get the data tape, the data disc with all the information about Starro and all the experiments, Waller was like, all right, mission accomplished. She didn't even give a shit that Starro escaped and was crushing the city and fucking up the citizens. She didn't even care about that shit. She's like,
she was happy it would, because now that the people that we put in power aren't in power, they're enemies to us. We don't care what happens to them.
Yeah, let them fend for themselves now. Like, that's such an America thing to do.
They go to their country, screw up their country, then leave their country. Leave
they go to liberate the country and then leave them hanging after they get their shit out and tail it out. Yeah. So since everybody want to say that Suicide Squad isn't woke and it avoids the political agenda, watch it again. Just watch the movie again, and then go research all this bullshit that Reagan, the Contras, the Afghans, the Mughal had. What was it called, Eli, in the 80s? What would it call? Which one?
In the 80s, that every 80s movie where the Afghans showed up, the Mughal Gadoosh, something. I can't remember the name.
I can't
anyway,
remember. Google
them. Look it up. They're there.
Delta Force with Chuck Norris. Check out Delta Force with Chuck Norris.
Oh, the 80s were telling you all this shit is going on. Don't ignore it.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is an 80s movie.
Yeah, Delta Force. It's about the Israeli and Palestine. That is, and then Chuck Norris is in the middle of it.
Exactly. They didn't care. As long as they hated Russia, they didn't care. They teamed up with anybody. Oh man. So
Red Dawn was Cuba and Russia.
I think so, because they were communists. It was all communism. So
84 or 80. Yeah, was it 84? When did Red Dawn, the original Red Dawn, came out? It was like 84, 85.
84, 85, something like that. Yeah.
It was about Russia and Cuba invading America, and that's just it's not far-fetched, I mean, it was far-fetched that they were able to like paratrooper into America and all that shit, but
hell, the Dark Knight Returns dealt with that shit.
Yeah.
One of these days we're going to review the Dark Knight Returns. We're not going to do it today, but we were going to do it during if we get shut down again, Eli, we're going to do it. which may happen. But yeah. Slap score on it. What you got?
I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. Not perfect. It had some lulls and it dragged a little bit too long, but still I had a blast watching it, laughing my ass off. I had a good time. So
cool. DC, back up a truck of money to James Gunn. I don't care what he does next. Do something with him.
Yeah, just let the artists make the fucking art.
That's it. That's all you got to do. You pay them for that. Just let them make the movie they want to make. Just roll the dice afterwards. Let's move past that. Okay, Eli, this is on you. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Evil Dead. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
Hope you remember what this is, but yeah.
Yeah. This is like last Monday, so this is old. So, as for Evil Dead, good news for Evil Dead fans, they are making a new Evil Dead movie called Evil Dead Rise, which is gonna focus like in the city and some women dealing with the. I think I don't know if Ash is gonna be in it, but it's gonna focus on another aspect of the universe. Yeah, basically, Deadites invade the city, and the filmmakers posted a bunch of pictures from the set. They are currently filming it, and we saw a bunch of blood and effect shots. But also, there's a pizza box that's called Henrietta Pizza, and that
Is
is
that like an Easter egg? Okay.
Yeah, that's a reference to Henrietta from Evil Dead 2. Henrietta in the fruit cellar, someone with the fresh soul. Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And Evil Dead 2 is like my favorite horror flick of all time. Yeah, it's basically Star Wars, Goodfellas, Evil Dead. I think falls like top 3 spot of all my all-time favorite movies. So I'm excited for this. I love Evil Dead movies. Ash versus the Evil Dead TV show was great. Wasn't a big fan of that remake, but I look forward to this and the game that's coming out. There's a new Evil Dead game coming out.
There's a game coming out. Okay, all right. This is also you.
Is it?
What's going on?
Blue Beetle?
I don't know if you want to talk. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you might have been. I just thought you might have been into this.
Not really. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not into this, and I don't know if you want to talk about this afterwards because it's DC announcing another movie. At this point,
I suppose.
Yeah, I'm just like no, because I'll be honest with you, Eli. That Black Superman movie they were talking about, I don't think it's gonna see the light of day. I said this months ago. I don't think it's gonna see the light of day. I think they're gonna wait for everybody to forget about it and then just not talk about it again.
Is the Flash movie actually being made now?
The Flash movie is getting made. I wouldn't be surprised if the Flash movie is getting wrapped. That's the thing. I don't take a DC movie seriously until I see like some set photos. I don't even look at costume tryouts. I don't even want to see that shit. I want to see set photos, location. It's in the can, it's wrapped. Black Adam has been wrapped. That movie was announced like in 2005. It's finally coming out. So maybe that's when Blue Beetle will come out in like 2030 when this guy has like grandkids and shit. You know, now he'll be up for, Jaime Reyes.
Yeah, the Joss Whedon Batgirl movie never happened.
Right.
The James Wan Trench movie that they were going to make.
Like, that didn't even sound right. Like, why are you making a fish zombie movie? Steven Spielberg was supposed to make a movie, the Black Hawks movie.
Oh, yeah.
Never came out. Matter of fact, before this Blue Beetle movie came out, Blue and Gold was supposed to make a movie. Booster Gold and Blue Beetles will come out. Never happened. Not gonna happen. Any movie you can think of, any character you can think of, has a movie attached to them that will never see the light of day. So this is just another thing. It's just there.
Yeah. So what we're talking about,
right?
They're talking about making a Blue Beetle movie, and they got the I'm gonna butcher his name. Jolo Mariduena. He's Miguel from Cobra Kai. He's supposedly been cast as Blue Beetle. So that's the word. We'll see if it ever gets made, like Leroy said. But yeah,
we will completely forget this movie ever existed. And when it does get announced again, it will be a different guy. Probably like 5 to 10 years younger than him because he'll be aged out by then.
Yeah.
All right. This is also you.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. I wanted to talk about this shit. So Star Wars Galactic StarCruiser. This was announced like years ago because they're doing the Star Wars Galaxy Edge or whatever, the theme parks. The Star Wars Disneylands have been popping up. And this is another one. This is a big attraction where it's supposed to be like a virtual vacation on a spaceship where you're basically spend the night, 2 nights on a Star Cruiser. And then you have like an adventure, and yeah. So basically, you go out. You spend 2 nights on this in this like motel like starship, and all the windows look like space. And then they have actors. All the employees are Star Wars characters, and people from the Star Wars universe. And then at some point, you get into some sort of adventure. And you can be a bounty hunter, or you can be like a rebel fighter or something, and you have like an adventure that you would live out for the 2 days, and you get to eat and drink food and drinks that are inspired. Like you can drink blue milk.
Blue milk, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
okay. And like, can you drink it right off the teeth?
Right off the alien teeth, the alien nipple.
I want to be Luke Skywalker.
So yeah, this is like supposed to be this big, huge, interactive, immersive experience. And they finally announced when it's opening. It's opening next year, and the pricing, how much this will cost. So it's basically the most basic package for two people, for two guests, is going to be $6,000.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's okay.
The best deal I think is a family of 3 or 4, which is also $6,000.
Yeah, no.
That's just the admission. That's just the price to get in. That doesn't count the plane ticket to get there, or
hotel,
or the food, or the drinks and the refreshments, or the merchandise. Yeah.
Disney lost their damn mind.
Yeah, and basically you're stuck there. They're basically kidnapping you for like 2 days. You can't leave. You're stuck in this room. I guess it kind of sounds fun, but you can't. I don't think you can leave.
Right.
So you're basically paying them to kidnap you.
Right. Good luck for taking somebody else with you to see that shit for $6,000. You pay $3,000, I pay $3,000. We go half. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I'm like, for that kind of money, like Mark Hamill better be there.
Right.
Like Harrison Ford better be there. Ray better sleep in my room. Like,
right. Those Twilight chicks.
Yeah,
I want 2 or 3 of them in the room with me.
Yeah, I want to be totally Jabba on my throne.
They don't even have to be famous actors. Just have them
feeding me frogs and shit.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, that's sounding a little Jurassic Parkish. Like only the super rich can, afford.
Right.
So yeah, I thought, shit, I'm a Star Wars fan, but not that much of a Star Wars fan.
Right. It's not going to take out a loan to go see this shit.
Yeah,
so.
I won't even spend $50 on the Slave One Lego set.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So okay, I'm gonna let you. This is also you, Eli, but I think I'm gonna hijack it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll let you talk about it. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see what we got here.
Oh, okay, yeah. This is I just saw this today, so.
Okay.
I thought this might be something that interests you too.
Yeah. Okay. So I've seen it around. I don't really know what's going on, but I was gonna let you talk about it just to see what's going on.
So is it Netflix? Yeah, Netflix is basically LeBron, like letting LeBron James produce a movie called Resball, which is gonna be a movie about a basketball team, of a Native American basketball team on a reservation. And Sydney Freeman is directing it. She is got
a pick.
Yeah,
okay.
She is a Native American filmmaker. She made a movie called Drunk Town's Finest, which, in my opinion, is one of the best recent Native American movies to come out in recent years.
Okay, so she's up and coming talent. Okay.
Oh yeah, she's directed episodes of Rutherford Falls.
Okay.
She was what was that, Chambers, that horror, that Native ghost story that was on Netflix. She directed episodes of that. She directed episodes of Walking Dead. She's been getting work. She's a Native filmmaker that's actually getting work. So big ups to her. And she is making this movie. Now Netflix made, what was it called? All or Nothing. There was a documentary that came out a couple years ago on Netflix. Oh, Basketball or Nothing. And it was a documentary on a native basketball team, down there in the Navajo Nation.
You said like a documentary? Okay.
Yeah, it was like a series. It's like a 5-part docu-series about this team. They get a new coach, and they go to the finals and stuff. And it's a documentary, and it's really good. They call it Resball because it's the native style of playing basketball, which is to be faster, because these kids ain't tall. They don't got a lot of height on.
Right. I was like, is it like a 6'9",
no
player that is?
They don't have the height advantage. So what their strategy is to outscore them by being faster. So it's a lot of just back and forth and just trying to outscore, outrun and outscore the other team. That's kind of like the res ball style, just to keep the ball moving, keep them running.
Running gun. Okay, Showtime Lakers. I see it. That's, so you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Eli, just because LeBron James' name is attached to this, you're gonna get eyes on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So.
I suck at basketball. I was never a big basketball fan. I can't shoot hoops for shit. I can't dribble for shit. I suck at basketball.
We'll do a game now with NBA 2K one night.
Even at Chuck E. Cheese at the hoop thing, I suck at. I can't do that. Shit.
It's like right there.
I am such a I just can't play basketball for shit. I just thought that's kind of cool that they're this is a native film, native representation where we're in a renaissance right now. We had Rutherford Falls. Tomorrow is the premiere of that Reservation Dogs show on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boom. There we go.
Blood Quantum came out. We got, Deb Holland in Congress, more even in comic books, natives are coming up, So.
Yeah, but like I said, you're gonna get asked just because LeBron James' name is attached to this. Like I said, he only came to Hollywood, the LA Lakers, to go to Hollywood to get his name out there. Like he got Space Jam 2, he's got this. He's even remaking House Party. Like, okay,
with who?
Some people.
Who's gonna be in it though?
People I don't even know. It's some millennials. I don't know. It's whatever like that, but some up and coming comedians, stuff like that. My thing is people that's like, House Party is a sacred cow. Don't touch House Party. Like, it's House Party. They made like 4 of those fuckers, man. Just make another one. Who cares? House Party is not like some sacred cow you can't touch. It's not Citizen Kane. It's House Party. It was popular at the time because of that dance that Kid and Play did. And that was it. It's not cinema or anything like that.
State property 1 and 2. No.
Yeah, it's like people don't remake Unbound. Who cares? Make it. Fuck it. Who cares? So yeah, LeBron want to make another one. Make another one. What do we got here? Oh, we got Twitch. Choosy Lover. Let's men sweatpants, please. More. Yes,
please.
That's the Twitch channel we have for us. Yeah, that's definitely coming from a Twitch channel. We get those awesome comments from there. So yeah, can we move on past that? Oh, well, sure. Okay, this is us. This next one coming up.
All right.
Video game section. Now, we have an announcement to make.
Oh, yeah.
For all you Twitch, since people are looking at us on Twitch right now, making awesome comments. So we do want to drop this on there that we are going to do on Friday the 13th. We're going to do a game night with Friday the 13th. Like I said, this is where I've never played the game before. Eli swears up and down by this game that, he is the greatest at this game.
I never said that.
Okay, so like I said, I'm the black guy in the movie, so I know I'm gonna die first. I'm not worried about it. It happens. I will be a stereotype, Anybody,
you could be a white chick. I'm a white chick in the movie or in the game.
They die too, so it's like shit. I'm dead no matter what happens.
Yeah, but I'm like the virgin, kind of frumpy white chick.
So you don't have the big tits, you got the small.
Yeah,
tits.
I'm not
small tits. They always live. So
yeah, I'm not the promiscuous chick. I'm like the one that's the one that's not sure about making out with the dude she has a crush on. That ends up the final girl. That's who makes it towards the end of the movie.
Okay, so and I just want to show people this one thing. Like I said, Friday the 13th. Now, if you look at it, it is on sale right now. If anybody else wants to jump in on us, inbox me on the Comic Book Bullies message board. Do not personally inbox me. I will not answer. I'm sorry, just letting you know. But yeah, you have, what is this? $3.74. It's on sale for $3.74 right now. If anyone wants to buy it, if you have PS Now, which is me, I have PS Now right now. You can just buy that for like $10 a month, and you get to play the game. So anybody been checking out? I've been playing Virtua Fighter 5 on the site, getting my ass kicked, but that's okay. I'm learning. I'm progressing. What do we got here? Let's see. Mr. Poopy Pants. Yes, exactly. Oh, Mr. Choosy Love. Why I call you Poopy Pants? I don't know why I call you that. Anyway, But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. So yeah, check us out this Friday, Friday the 13th. It's easy to remember. Friday the 13th, we'll be playing this game. My first time playing it. We're gonna jump into it and see how it goes.
I haven't played it in like a few years now. I got to re-download it. I deleted it off my hard drive, so I have to re-download it and shit.
And Gabe's gonna join us too. So I got plans on how to advertise this, how to promote this, how to actually do the stream, even though I never played the game, but we're gonna go from there. So yeah.
Yeah, and I never streamed live. So I've never yeah, this is a first for me too. Like I've never
it's fun. It's fun. You're gonna love it.
Live or anything like that. Shit.
You're gonna love it. I'm gonna have everything set up. Basically, what we're gonna do, I'll let you know. I'll talk to you after this. We're gonna talk about the ins and out mechanics of streaming and shit like that. I probably should say to people listening, but I don't want y'all stealing our secrets. So yeah. So let's see what we got next. Like I said, this is Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books. And Eli, you got more books than I do, so I'm gonna let you go first on that one.
Okay. Well, since this is the Suicide Squad show, I will review the Suicide Squad.
All right,
Suicide Squad, Get Joker, #1.
Why does it remind me of Smoking Aces for some reason?
Kinda.
Okay,
Yeah,
even though I hadn't read the book, it just reminded me of a concept of Smoking Aces. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so Suicide. So this is whoops. Okay. So yeah, Suicide Squad, Get Joker, #1 by Brian Azzarello wrote this. And I know some people are like, Brian Azzarello, I'm
one of those people. But
yeah. Boomer and all that shit. Yeah. So this has basically Jason Todd, Red Hood, leading a Task Force X on a mission to get Joker. And
is that Wild Dog?
Huh?
That is Wild Dog.
Yeah, it is. He's like the comedian. He's like what's his name? Peacemaker, like the right wing. What's his name from Falcon and Winter Soldier?
John Walker.
Yeah, he's like him in this. So basically it starts out with we have kind of the history of Jason Todd, how he was a Robin, and then he got killed by the Joker, but then the Lazarus Pit, revived him, and then he became Red Hood and all this shit, and then he got busted, got thrown in jail. Then he got Amanda Waller basically approaches him, like, "Yo, I'll give you, I got a deal. You get your sentence reduced if you lead, the Suicide Squad on a mission." And so they get, we get Firefly, Silver Banshee, some dude named Pebbles that I never heard of.
Never heard of Pebbles.
Meow Meow, never heard of her.
So basically, those two are gonna die. Gotcha. Okay.
Plastique,
she's an old school. She's old school. Okay.
Yeah. The Yonder Man, a teleporter.
Wild
Dog.
Okay. Wild Dog. He was
Harley.
on Arrow. Wild Dog was on Arrow. So yeah.
And Harley. So they go get dropped in Gotham to go find the Joker. And they find him at a bar, or there's like a bar with the Russian mob, and they go in and they see the Joker at the bar, and Harley just goes right up to him, and just shoots him in the back of the head.
Well, that's a quick book. Okay.
But it turns out that wasn't the Joker. It was just some Looney Tune dressed up as the Joker. And then this scene right here that I got. That's like everybody in the bar, like going, guns. They all pull their guns out on each other.
Oh, the Mexican standoff. Okay.
Yeah. So
I love that trope.
So there's a big shootout. They escape, and then Jason is like talking to Waller, and it's like, "Hey man, there's a setup, man. There's something. The Russian mob, blah 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 blah. Somebody knew we were coming. All that shit. Basically, they've been double crossed. Oops. Oh crap. Not that. That's not what I wanted. I'm trying to get the what do you call it? Okay. Let's see. So basically, while Jason is on the phone with Waller, the Joker busts in to her house.
Oh, in her house. Okay.
Yep. And as you can see right here, the Joker
is skinny Waller. Okay.
Yeah. So, and the Joker is dressed up like Alex from Clockwork Orange. So there's a bunch of Clockwork Orange references. First of all, Jason Todd's prison number is 655321, which was Alex's prison number in Clockwork Orange. And then here's Joker busting into Amanda Waller's apartment dressed like the Droogies from Clockwork Orange, you know. And
Interesting.
and the Joker, basically, this was fucked up. I did not expect this. The Joker proceeds to Jason Todd the shit out of Waller.
Wow. Oh, she got fridged? Oh, man.
And Jason's on the phone. And here,
oh, so he hears it the whole time.
He hears it. And here's the thing now in Clockwork Orange, there is the infamous singing in the rain scene that is very disturbing and one of the most fucked up scenes ever put on camera. But here we have the Joker referencing that scene. Instead of singing in the rain, he is singing "Blame It on the Rain" by Milli Vanilli.
By Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, so he proceeds to just, you know, beat the crap out of Waller. And then he jumps on the phone with Jason. He's like, "Hi, Jason." And they're like, and Jason's like, "Oh shit. Joker has the box that can control their microchip." So, you know, the Suicide Squad is microchip with the bombs and shit. So, you know, at any moment, Waller could like blow them up, you know. Right. But now Jason's like, "Oh shit, Joker has the box," and then boom, Firefly just bursts into flames. Ah.
Oh, Firefly was on the team. You didn't say he was not a team anymore, but yeah.
Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh shit." And that's to be continued. So that was the end. And I loved it. I thought this was great. And like I said, people awesome. People kind of like got their opinions about Azzarello, but you know, I think
I had my opinions about Azzarello, but that was an awesome story.
Yeah, he writes a good Joker story, and I get burned. I've been kind of burned out on the Joker lately. You know, this past year, ever since the movie. You know, like all the Joker shit.
Because I don't even think that's the only Joker book that came out this week.
Yeah, and like the Joker War, and they just Jokered the shit, the Joker 80th anniversary. You know, just so much Joker crap lately, and I just got burned out. So I was a little reluctant to check it out, but then I ended up really digging this. So this is a 4 out of 5, and I think I'm on board for this. So
nice. Yeah. Okay, so I guess it's up to me. Okay.
Yep.
So next book. Well, the first book I'm going to do is going to be X-Men #2. I know I said I was going to jump off this train. I'm done with it, but no, nothing else I want to read. So I like, screw it. I'll go ahead and read X-Men. Why not? Just see what's going on with this one. So let's get to it. Basically, the book starts off as issue #2. It's Tenet's story. Spoiler alert: they fight the Annihilation Wave. Yeah, but
is this tying into that Guardian story or whatever?
I don't think so, but yes, it's weird.
Not really. Isn't that the new arc on the Guardians? Some Annihilation?
Yeah, the Annihilation Wave. So they're doing like another Annihilation story coming up where Dormammu or somebody else shows up, anything like that. But basically the book starts off with Gambit is hanging out in their, the treehouse, their ex headquarters in New York. And it's like, Gambit, what the hell and Rogue is basically like, she calling him and Gambit's like, uh-oh. Like, let's go ahead and finish the game, guys, before she gets down here. She like, Gambit, what the hell are you doing here? Remy, Etan, LeBeau, says the whole name. You said you had a card game hours ago. Why the hell are you in our headquarters with a bunch of supervillains playing card games, knowing the paparazzi's outside seeing it? Like, they're supervillains. They can't be in the X-Men headquarters. And Thing is like, well, you in trouble. I'm going to get out of here. You're like, and I was going to beat you too, But anyway, going past that, I'm going to just speed through this. Anyway, in the game room, the quartermaster, or Cordyceps Jones calling himself, is betting on who's going to kill Earth first. And this guy says, I'm going to take out this guy first. I'm going to send my minion here with the Annihilation Wave. He's going to go down there to Earth, and he's going to take him out with the Annihilation Wave. You're like, well, there's no way the Earth can survive that, because like Annihilation Wave is taking out galaxies by itself. So he goes down there. He crashes in Kansas. This couple going to pick up truck sees him walking out. He talking all alien and shit like that. Drinks it. He's like, hey, buddy, maybe you should lay off the sauce. You shouldn't be getting drunk like that. And then that's when the Annihilation Wave pops out of his chest and, just starts getting to take over the city. So it's moving close to the city. Let's take over. That's when we get the X-Men. We got Sync and Jean Grey training, over some stuff. They're basically saying, uh-oh, I hear it. Kansas is going crazy. So they hop in the Thunderbird, which is their jet, and they head to Kansas, to take out the Annihilation Wave before it takes over the entire Earth and galaxy, stuff like that. Meanwhile, Sync is still synced up with Jean Grey, and she senses him thinking about Wolverine and thinking about all the time that they spent, how their soulmate, stuff like that. And then that's when Jean kind of, cuts him off. He's like, yeah, I don't want to, there's too much information you sending me right now. So when they finally get to the Annihilation Wave, that's when the X-Men go into full attack mode. They're like, since I don't sense any people in there, you can just go crazy, just go nuts, do whatever you want to do. So Wolverine's just chopping them up and shit. What do you do? Let's cut to the end. Yeah, it's so Cyclops says, not Magneto, his daughter, Polaris, throw a big bubble over the city to stop the Annihilation Wave from taking over the city. But right before the big bubble throws up, Jean Grey's psychic ability combines with Lorna Dane's magnetic ability and enhances her, where she can get a mental image of those guys. So she's like, before Sunfire, before you blow up the Annihilation Wave, let me go inside and see exactly what they're thinking. So they go inside, and she can sense like the last images of where these guys came from. So when she sensed them, she knows exactly who sent them, where they came from, stuff like that. She's like, uh-oh. And then she's like, okay, Sunfire, hit it, go for it. She's like, okay, everybody step back, because when I get in, I'm letting loose. So he dives right inside the Annihilation Wave. The Annihilation Wave seems like it eats him, but it really doesn't, because boom, he explodes the Annihilation Wave and it's done before he gets to the city. So Kansas is saved. So the Kansas guy, before they hop on the Thunderbird, the guys, they actually X-Men fans, and Deadpool just like that. Hey man, since you saved the city, why don't you come over there? Let me buy you drinks, get you a burger or something like that. And he was about to decline, but then Jean Grey's are like, nah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna jump in. And so they go to the cookout, and he gets a burger, and that's how it ends. But before it ends, we get a picture of a guy named Dr. Stasis killing his family or whatever, and some big cat butler type dude named Bornin hauls him out of there. So apparently the X-Men, resurrecting people isn't public knowledge, and they're trying to figure out how is it when Cyclops got shot in the face with a shotgun like in issue 1 2 years ago is now leading the X-Men. How is that possible? They know how to resurrect. We need to figure it out. Book. So it's whatever. It's old school. This is old school. This old school stuff, what you expect from the X-Men. It's like the old school team-up books. Bullshit happens at the beginning. They fight a big monster. Bullshit happens at the end. Rinse, repeat. I'm pretty sure it will pick up then, but it's just a classic X-Men blow shit up type book. So, yeah, that's all I got. Well, for this, anyway.
Okay. I guess I'll go to Immortal Hulk.
Okay.
Number 49. Let's see. Trying to get my image up. Let's
cool.
see. Oops. What is it now? I'm sorry. Where is it? Okay, here we go.
All right.
Where is it? I want to get out of this. Okay. Okay, not that. Technical difficulties. Yes. Yeah. This is why Leroy runs the show. Is this not? Oh, I think this is a web image. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that image ain't gonna get shared. So let's just.
It's a way to do it. The way I do it, I upload it to Facebook and then download it from there.
Okay, so I'll just start with this. That's why it was only I shared. Okay. So I'm doing an Immortal Hulk number 49, the penultimate issue in this series, in Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk run. So basically, the leader has been fucking shit up, and he's been in green hell, taking over, and the Hulk needs to get to green hell. So Jacqueline McGee, that reporter, and She-Hulk are accompanying him to, try to get to Green Hell. They go to New York for the Avengers' help, but the Avengers end up just attacking the Hulk.
Right, because he's been pretty much a bad guy for like the whole series. So
they beat the crap out of it, and the Hulk just stands there and let them just beat the shit out of him. And it kind of points out like how the the Hulk is realizing, you know what, these motherfuckers never trusted me. I've been a liability. I've never really been on this team.
Right. Even though he's one of the founders, but yeah,
I'm really not a part of the crew. They just kind of use me. I'm kind of like their secret weapon. I'm their dog. I'm their pet. I'm their pet monster, basically.
You come in, you smash, you get out of here.
Yeah, they don't really trust me. They never have, and they never will. That's what he's kind of realizing here. But he just sort of takes the beating because he's letting all the violence and the beating that he's taking is basically giving him power. So then let me get to the Fantastic Four show up and like, hey, Bruce, come on, let's get you out of here. And they take him. It turns out smartass Reed has built a doorway to Green Hell. Usually you gotta die.
How did he know about it? Right. How did he know about it?
Oh, I think there was some stuff. Yeah, it's Reed.
It's Reed. Yeah, okay, never mind.
He's always building some shit that goes somewhere. So usually you got to die to get to Green Hell. But now Reed built a portal to Green Hell. He's like, you know what? Here, we're going to help you. And it's sort of now this whole issue is written in prose. I think it's basically an article that
right. That's why I saw. So the whole book is like that.
Yeah, it's basically. I think it's like Jacqueline McGee sort of writing the article. It's from her point of view, her voice, her perspective. But it makes some really cool, interesting points about how the Fantastic Four and the Hulk are very similar. Like they were both victims of science gone wrong. Where Hulk is like the worst, is the darkness. The Fantastic Four is the light side of that coin. They're the family. They have relationships. They're a family. Hulk is a loner. Hulk embodies rage and anger and hatred and guilt and trauma. The Fantastic Four are all about they're a family unit. Unity. Let's try to save the world. All that stuff. Peace versus chaos. So that I thought that was really interesting. And basically, like, hey, we're gonna get you out of here and help you. So they go through they just end up going through the portal to go, and that's it. It ends there, and the next issue is the last issue in this series where the big finale. They're gonna go face the leader in Green Hell. And that doesn't come out till October. So
oh wow. So okay. They got time to plan for that one. So
yeah, and it's supposed to be a big, huge finale too. Probably a double size issue and shit. So
I mean, it's been one of their best selling books. So yeah, it's got to go out with a bang.
Yeah, this is a modern classic for me. Yeah, I've been all about this since the get go.
Yeah. Plus they're gonna put it in a trade and everything. So when it's all said and done.
Yeah. 4 out of 5. Pretty cool film.
Cool. All right. So what do I have next year? Eli, I'm surprised you didn't read this next one, Sinister War.
No, I didn't know. I wasn't really feeling the first one, so I
kind of like, why not? So that's the next book we got now, Sinister War. Basically what it is, Sinister Six versus Sinister Six versus Sinister Six versus Sinister Six versus another Sinister Six versus Sinister Syndicate. Whole bunch of guys fighting each other to get to Spider-Man. So it's kind of like Get Spider-Man. That's what this is. So to basically explain what the book is. So so like I said, Dr. Octopus is going after Mephisto, but that's the B story. The A story is, like I said, another Sinister Six team is going after Spider-Man in a graveyard with Taskmaster, the Foreigner, Slide, Black Ant, Chance, and Jack-o'-lantern, and they're going after him. So they're trying to get him, and they're blasting him and stuff like that. And they're actually kicking his ass because there's too many of them. But before they can, and they actually give a flashback happening beforehand, they were robbing a bank. And before they could do it, they all got kidnapped by those tentacles, which is Kindred's tentacles. I was trying to say it about that fast, and it just blinks out on them. So, but then Spider-Man gets snatched up by another one of his villains called Overdrive, and they snatch him out of there. And while Overdrive is going, another Sinister Six team shows up with Shocker, Hydro Man, not Captain Boomerang, just Boomerang. I forgot it's Marvel. Speed Demon, some other guys. And they do their thing. So Hydro Man blows water in everybody, and they're like, well, at least it's better than sand. At least I didn't get sand all over everywhere. And Shocker's like, oh, wait till you see what comes over here. So he shocks Electric Current, Hydro Man, and everything that Hydro Man is, liquefied gets shocked. So Shocker takes them out. Shows them earlier. They were getting drunk at the bar with no name. And they also get kidnapped by Kindred. So, yeah. So while they're getting away, they get stopped by another Sinister Six team. But here's the thing. They're not technically a Sinister Six team because it's 7 of them. Because the 7th member shows up, boom, and stabs Spider-Man in the back. So it shows them earlier.
Who is
and
that?
they're complaining, I don't know. They never say. They just say it's a 7th member, And they're asking about should we recruit it to the team, And they're like, we can't recruit it to the team because with Sinister Six, we have a 7th member that makes us look, bad. Like we just changed the name to the Sinister Syndicate, and it makes sense, because we have to change our image because we've been teaming up with Spider-Man too much, so it makes us look like weak bad guys, So, but then they get kidnapped by Kindred. So all these Sinister Six teams finally wake up. They start fighting each other, and Kindred makes them stop. And Catman's just like, "Oh, you don't know my name." And Catman's like, "I know what your name is. Your name is Diddy McDederson of the Massachusetts Dedersons. You better be dead real quick." But he falls out immediately before Kindred even touches him. And the reason he does that is because he has like these bug worms that are in everybody's head he implanted while they were asleep. And then he basically shocked him in the head right now. He's like, look, this bug is eventually going to kill every one of you, but whoever brings me the head of Spider-Man will live. So clock is ticking, tick-tock, get on it. So that's the book. So that's what's going on. That's why all these Sinister Six teams going after him. Meanwhile, the other Sinister 16, like the real Sinister 16, they just want to kill Spider-Man. They don't give a shit about Kendrick. They just want to kill him. So, yeah. So, everybody's trying to kill Spider-Man. That's what the book's going on right now. Yeah. It's whatever. Like I said, Nick Spencer is wrapping up his run. So, 3 out of 5. That's cool.
All right. I'll do this Spirits of Vengeance, Spirit Rider, #1.
Okay, because I heard about that, but I didn't know what it was about. So, yeah.
This is the Native American Ghost Rider.
Okay.
Spirit Rider. Yeah. So Kushala, is that her name? How do you say it? Kushala. She first appeared in a Doctor Strange. She was like the Sorcerer Supreme back in, the 1800s or whatever, because natives can't be in modern times.
Right. So she's here now, or how does that work?
Yeah, I haven't kept up with this. Yeah, I did buy that. I did have that issue of Doctor Strange where she made her first appearance, just because I gotta represent and put my money where my mouth is and buy,
Because if you don't, who else will?
Yeah. Buy a kid. I gotta buy my native heroes. So support my native heroes. So basically, she was at first a spirit of vengeance. So she was a ghost rider back in the 1800s. It turns out her tribe was like massacred by the cavalry. She was the last one left. She made a deal with the spirit of vengeance and was able to flame and burn up the whole cavalry.
Nice.
Why this book isn't about that, I don't know.
Okay, so the book.
Give me that story, because I didn't give a shit what was going on in this book. So they got Taboo and B. Earl writing again. They're they did the Werewolf by Night. Taboo's been getting work, writing comics, writing Red Wolf and writing the native. He's the token native.
But he's on Marvel staff. I don't know why they just won't just say it,
Yeah. So this basically has Kushala teaming up with Johnny Blaze to free Johnny Blaze's soul. So they have to go inside Johnny Blaze's soul. And there's a bunch of flashbacks of Let me share. I grabbed an image. I don't know if it really
Okay.
matters, but yeah. So there's
There we go.
that's her. So she's basically helping Johnny free his soul from the spirit of vengeance. There's a bunch. He goes through a bunch of flashbacks of his life. He meets his dad, as a kid again. He meets his mom. Turns out that his demon and her demon are similar or something, and she ends up fighting that demon at the end, and realizes that a part of her demon is a part of his or something like that. Some kind of weird, mystical mumbo jumbo, and she basically saves his soul. But now she realizes that she's connected to the demon too, so now she's got to go and fight it as well. And this, I think this is an ongoing. I'm not sure. This felt like kind of like a one shot, but it says it looks like she has something to do now, I guess. I don't know. This was like really disappointing. I really wanted to like this, but it's very long and very wordy. It is kind of stereotypical. This is just the shaman helping out the white guy. That's like, that's whole stereotype.
I'm disappointed in the Black Eyed Peas guy
and just it was
Taboo.
Full of so much like mystical, new age, esoteric, philosophical, spiritual, right, like talk. You know what I mean? It was so much of that in it. And it just was a drag. It just dragged. Yeah, I was like, man, I was kind of bummed out at the end of this. I was like, you know what? Hey, big ups to Taboo. Props to him for, representing and all that shit. But he's got a job, man. Doesn't he have a job? He got it, doesn't he?
He hadn't rapped in like 15 years, man.
Sing and dance and rap, but that's what he does, right? Why doesn't he just go do that and let
nobody wants to hear him do that.
There's some awesome native talent out there that are like writers that could, give them a job. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the thing about Marvel. I mean, it's basically
just,
he's a celebrity hire.
Yeah, he's the token celebrity writer,
right?
Like Coates was for Black Panther. It's like,
right, or all those Def Jam rappers that that wrote for whenever that was Method Man or whatever when he wrote.
Oh yeah, he's got a book coming out too, doesn't he?
I hope not.
He does. No, he does. He's got some character for Marvel. Marvel's letting him make his own book. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna sell because Method Man's name will be over whatever character it is he's writing. So.
Yeah, I was really disappointed. I really wanted to lie. I was really looking forward to this, and I was just like really bored. I was really bored with it. I mean, I just like, I want to like yeah. I'm like, I want to like the native shit. But we got to do better, man.
That's how I felt with Static, man. That's how I felt with Static. I want to like it more than what I did. So
yeah. Like there's some awesome ideas in here. Like I want, give me her origin, give me her origin story. I felt like if Jason Aaron wrote her origin, it would be awesome. And that's so fucked up to say.
Right. Give it to the white guy.
You know what I mean? Because at least I get her kicking ass. You know what I mean? This is just a journey. I mean, there's a bunch of Johnny, but some of it was just so cheesy. Like Johnny Blaze is making these really dumb jokes, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I'm like, really?
Oh,
you wrote that?
You
typed that out and made me read it? Like, what the fuck? It was like really cringy attempts at trying to be humorous.
Oh my goodness!
And I was just
that wasn't even funny back when he was rapping. But anyway.
So yeah, this was just a big letdown. Yeah.
Oh well. All right.
Sorry, not sorry. Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. Next book I got is I'm gonna do a Suicide Squad. You did the Suicide Squad Black Label book. I'm just gonna do the traditional Suicide Squad book, the one that came out this week. I hadn't been following Suicide Squad at all, but I was like, why not? Give it a try. See if I can jump into this bad boy, because obviously if it's a new book out, they want you to jump into it, see what you think. And the cover is interesting because Bloodsport is on the team now. Bloodsport hasn't appeared in a DC comic since the 80s, but he's on the team now, and he's getting his head crushed not by Superman, by Ultraman. And I'll explain what's going on in a second. Because Waller has sent Bloodsport on a special mission since the multiverse is opened up in the DCU. She's sending him specifically to go to other multiverses to recruit members for the Suicide Squad. So he goes and he sees Black Siren, Black Canary's the evil version of Black Canary. He tried to recruit her, but he gets stopped by Ultraman. He thinking that he can shoot a kryptonite bullet at Ultraman, which would kill him like it was Superman, but Ultraman actually gets stronger with kryptonite. So the only reason he doesn't kill Bloodsport because he wants to know where the kryptonite came from. Where can I get more of it? So Waller, I'm just gonna skip this because some bullshit. Oh, and I'm gonna tell you the members of the task force S. You got whoever this chick is, Talon from whatever, Nocturna, Batman villain, and I think that's it. And Superboy. Superboy's a member, and Peacemaker's also on the team also, but he's doing some other bullshit. So anyway, Waller sends them out to go to Earth 3. She says she has just enough power to get them there for an hour. And then after that, if you don't come back in an hour, you're going to be stuck there. That's what Waller tells them. Go there, get Bloodsport, get Black Siren, and get them back over here. And yeah, so they go over to Earth 3 right before Ultraman does some bullshit. Oh, side plot with Peacemaker, don't care. Oh, Peacemaker looking for Swamp Thing. I think she's trying to recruit Swamp Thing to the team. But yeah, they go there, they're listening, it's like peaceful. They're in Metropolis, Earth 3. And the thing is, Superboy, like everybody's acting like, how is Superboy on this team? He doesn't even know why he's on this team. He's just here. So, but then that's when they find out that what's going on. So they see a big fight going on there. Ultraman and Superboy fight, and Ultraman just goes in and he's like, "Man, you weak as hell." That's what they call for Kryptonians over there. And I can see your DNA. You're a clone of a clone, so you're not even worth my fight. So Ultraman's not taking him seriously. Oh yeah, the Suicide Squad member Branch. I forgot about Branch, but it doesn't matter about Branch because Ultraman kills him, rips him in half, and blows his head off. So that's why we don't care about Branch. Rest in peace, Branch. And they fight some more. Oh, and he said, "Let the rest of you chill out." And then he freeze breaths him. Now tell me who this Waller person is, and where can I get some more kryptonite? And that's when Nocturna mind controls Black Siren to do her thing. Anyway, they fight some more. They get Superboy out of there right before he gets ready to kill Ultraman. Somehow he gets to drop on Ultraman. Waller gets him out of there. They go back to, I think, Tokyo for some shit. And she's saying they got to make a drop off because you got to do something else. But while they're doing that, Superboy is met by Superboy. Why? I don't know. They're supposed to be the same guy, but they're not the same guy. Oh, it's the multiverse. That's right. I keep forgetting it's the multiverse. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. So next fight, Superboy versus Superboy. So yeah, I picked up. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So there you go. So pretty easy for me. So yeah, what else you got?
I guess I'll do my Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters minute or segment.
Cool.
Because I read Bounty Hunters number 15 and the 4 LOM and Zuckuss. I always thought it was Zuckuss from the 80s.
That somebody. Oh, so these are old characters then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 4 LOM and Zuckuss, the tie-in. So both of them. Bounty Hunters number 15. Of course, this is the War of the Bounty Hunters event that's going on. Everybody's trying to find Han Solo frozen in carbonite. Every bounty hunter in the galaxy is after him. Boba Fett lost him from Crimson Dawn, the gangsters that were in the Solo movie, and they had a big auction trying to get him back, and everyone's basically trying to get the bounty. Been kind of all over the place. This sort of the Bounty Hunter book is Bounty Hunter and Star Wars are basically the two that are kind of sticking to the main plot. Whereas all these, there's so many other tie-ins that are all over the place. But this one kind of brought it back. We're back with Dengar and Valance. They go to Canto Bight, trying to find Solo. They get double-crossed along the way. And basically, they finally get in contact with Boba Fett, and they're going to go meet him. That's that book, but also it ties into 4LOM and Zuckuss. Zuckuss and 4LOM, they're those bounty hunters. They were on the bridge in Empire Strikes Back. Zuckuss looks
with
the big eyes, looks like a bug, and then he had a droid, 4LOM. This sort of ties into that. It goes into a flashback of one of their older jobs and how they met, and also they got double crossed on a job, and the gangster reprogrammed Zuckuss or 4LOM to kill Zuckuss and gave him a big giant spider body. So this was basically them fighting, like Zuckuss fighting his partner, his robot partner, as a spider. Pretty cool. I actually enjoyed this tie-in. It was a cool little profile on these characters. But they end up joining up together with Dengar and shit. So and that's about it. So I actually enjoyed this tie-in. And this is more, we're getting back to the main plot of the story of the main characters. Because this is there's like how many tie-ins? It's like 30 books, 40 books in this series.
Oh, so it's like a big crossover with this.
And it's going till October. So there's like 5-6 books a month till October. And I'm only reading a couple of them.
Wow. Okay.
So both of them get a 4 out of 5. This is more focused.
Okay, cool. All right, so last book I got. I actually have 4 books. I don't know if I told you about the last one I got. But the last one I got, let's see, where is it? It's actually a digital exclusive. Because I have this DC Universe app. So this book actually doesn't come out for everywhere else actually until September the 1st. However, since I had the DC Universe app, they gave it to me, and I'm gonna see if I can pull it up for you.
I heard about this and I didn't see it anywhere. No wonder I didn't see it. Okay.
Right, that's the thing. So I'm gonna do like a quick thing. Do the thing. Oh, I gotta do the thing. There we go. Okay, so like I said, I'm on the DC Universe app right now, and they gave it to us this Tuesday. So I get these bonuses. So I got a book a month earlier than it came out everywhere else. That's why I couldn't find it anywhere else. So since it only comes out next week, like I said, I'm on the DC Universe app. I'm not promoting, but hey, they gave it to us. So I'm like, why not? So yeah, what this book is what's the name of it? Harley Quinn, the animated series, the Last Bang tour, Kill tour, is actually canonical to the cartoon, the Harley Quinn cartoon. It picks up exactly after that last episode, and it tells us what happened with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. So like, cool, okay. And yes, they are making a season 3 of Harley Quinn. It either comes out the end of this year or the end of next year. And this is basically a book in between what's gonna happen, like a lead in to season 3, basically. That's what this is.
Is Batman going down on Catwoman?
Oh man, not in this book.
They totally could have went there.
They could have went there in this book because nobody cares what happened in these books, but they didn't go there. So just to show you what happens in this book, I'm gonna just go to it. Like I said, the book picks up right where it left off, where it was on Harley Quinn Highway, and, getting chased by Gordon after leaving Kite Man's wedding, Kite Man and Poison Ivy's wedding, and they're leaving, like Thelma and Louise, stuff like that. So they're getting away, and Gordon's, cursing out at him, stuff like that. Harley Quinn, I'm gonna stop you. They shoot at him, stuff like that. Shoot the window out. I love the artwork in this also. It's got that cartoony look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're going down, and I said, pull over, Gordon. Like, fuck you, Gordon. And stuff like that. Such a like the little art detail they got. So Harley Quinn says, you grab the wheel, I'm gonna take out these cops. But while she's taking out the cops, and I'm just gonna go to it real quick, she's actually pulls one of the cops out of there, and she sits in the room with the cop, telling her the story about what happened basically in season 2, about how she fell in love with Poison Ivy, how she got involved with Darkseid and Granny Goodness, also like that, try to take over the world with parademons. And the cop even says, so you destroyed Gotham because you got friend zone? And she was like, shut the fuck up, punch him in the face, stuff like that. So she knows how to get away. She basically, Poison Ivy makes a bridge. They go there. Gordon tries to chase after her. She makes the bridge go away. And Gordon falls, but she catches Gordon right before he falls, so it doesn't kill Gordon, because Gordon made a deal with the president of the United States that he was going to arrest Harley Quinn for destroying Gotham. So what's going on? We're going to go on, Harley is, but Poison Ivy seems kind of distant, even though she's not really doesn't seem like she's into it. And Harley's talking to herself in the mirror, talking to Harleen. Harleen is in the mirror telling her, look, don't push her. You know this. You're a psychiatrist also. If you push her, you're just going to make her more distant. When she's ready to talk, she'll talk, So they go to the old mall, the Gotham Mall, where they was in season 2, and she brings across the aisle, stuff like that, gets her a dress, and brings it to, the place. Because Poison Ivy kicked her out of her last place. And then basically watching the news about how the Justice League is arresting everybody at Arkham Asylum, about how Kite Man got stood up at his wedding, and it's the biggest disaster of the year, and she's upset, the whole thing about how she broke her teeth and stuff like that. But this scene I like right here. Whatever about Courtney. Yeah, this whole scene right here, I just like this. How Poison Ivy just basically that's just like, why couldn't I just fake it with Kite Man? Why did I have to fall in love with Harley Quinn? And she just like, and Harley, talks to her, consoles her, doesn't say what's going on, but then you get the sexy scene, like, oh, let's get you out that wedding dress. And this whole scene right here, you won't get this. I guess you will get to the regular DC universe comic, but yeah. So this whole scene right here, this whole panel, this whole thing, I love it. Probably my favorite panel that we've seen, not just because of the sexy shit, just to have the playful loveliness of this whole.
There's
when
the flowers again. Yeah, look at the flowers.
The flowers again. Poison Ivy like come here, and then she just I'm gonna just do a backflip or a somersault into the bed. Love you, Pamela Eyes. I love you, Harley Quinzel, stuff like that. So yeah, all sweet, tender stuff. It's a sweet, tender moment. And then Poison Ivy basically tells Harley what's going on. I'm upset because I didn't get married to Kite Man, but I'm feeling in love with you. But now that I'm here with you, I'm gonna stay with you. Harley Quinn give it the puppy dog eyes. You gonna stay with me? We're gonna do this. But anyway, Gordon is on their ass. They got to get out of there. So they get the Bud and Lou, the two hyenas, and they head over to Catwoman's place because Catwoman's not there, and they're just gonna hide out there. But the thing is, Gordon hears everything going the whole time. So yeah, that's what's it. So yeah, fun book. I'm pretty sure this is pretty much filler. I'm pretty much everything that happens in this comic will not matter when it finally gets to season 3, but that's where it's headed. So they kind of broke up. Kite Man kind of realized what was up. He kind of said, no, because the tape was revealed that happened early. That happened early. So he knew about that shit and tried to marry anyway, but he realized that she was in love with Harley. So he was like, he broke it off. Yeah, he broke it off. Yeah, he broke it off. So he was like, nah, I don't want to be in a marriage with somebody that don't love me, basically. So yeah. So
that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's all I got. I'm booked out. What else you got?
Yeah, me too. I write a bunch of other shit, but I don't feel like talking about them.
Oh yeah, I thought you had more shit than me. But anyway, all right. So yeah, like I said, if you're listening this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. We have a bunch of we don't have a bunch of other podcasts. We have This Geeks and Comics and Big Willie doing a whole bunch of the podcasts. And I don't know what else is going on. People kind of come and go. It's like a Waffle House at Outright Geeky right now. I don't know who's there, who's not there, but yeah. So next week we'll come up with something else. I guess we're gonna just twiddle our thumbs until Shang-Chi comes around. But I'm pretty sure to be.
Doesn't What If come out soon?
Oh yeah, I'll let you review that. Okay.
Well, I thought it was homework. I don't have to.
Not really. I mean, if you watch it, cool. If you don't, whatever. I don't really care. It's whatever. So yeah. But like I said, until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.
Yo, I'm in red form. Niggas speak down on my name like I wasn't there for them. Talk about back in the days, this isn't back in the days. Get with me back in my ways, chip through from the fade. Musically I'm on Mars. Walking all over the beat, putting my feet on the stars. I rock it like Lenny, think it like Jimmy the first time he seen a guitar. Standing in front of where they shot about us and we gotta know who we are. I'm in rare form. Wearing red Jordan straight from Air Jordan, this a fair warning. Too many young guards, beef over nothing. When you get money, you know that it's coming. Saying they homies, but they ain't 100. We the most 100. I got my Met tat on to the back. Y'all already know where we going with the stats. Hall of Fame only, kings and queens only. They all be grabbing my style, but you know they can't hold me. Yeah, I'm in rare form. Y'all still on the ground, you know I've been airborne. Studying big, studying Nietzsche. You gotta call on the chopper to reach me. Homie, I don't need a jeweler to freeze me. Ice on my veins, I make it look easy. Mentally, I'm in Queens. More money, more problems, you gotta be ready for all that it brings. Let them say what they say, revenge on my plate, I'm loving the taste. They see you shouting, emotions get hard to contain, they just not evolving the same. Me and HB is too rare, I'm moving all through the snares. Sound on billionaire, ain't nothing changed, I'm flipping the page. I'm Prince on the stage, slave on his face, you know what they say. Katie the wave, I'm staying rare for all of my days. I'm staying rare for all of my days. Levels of Tarantino, curbing my ego, even though he know. Empty glass of Pinot, cigars in casinos. What they especially praise is the ethos. Stacks on blackjack, moving my chips. No superstition to make me get rich. I'm with this chick, this one I brought today. In between placing my bets, we shopped at Cartier. Rose Go, I copped the receipt. Runway, hopped in the jet. Flight attendant, popping my wet. I said I need that dime, offer respect. We having conversations, niggas show me property there. I called my nigga in, I told him, yo, I gotta be there. Salmon shish kebab in the misty fog, roll a sticky log. Big dog affair, no kids involved. Round table having war council. Press one button, it'll change the world around you. Too rare, nothing to see here. Cuban over my streetwear. You're nobody till somebody kills you just to be fair. It's okay to keep the mystique. I learned that in the street. I'm me, solo with deep. I'm putting on for the G's. We've been doing gangster shit for a long time. Look inside my mind, see a gold mine. I'm my own cosign, she texting the old line. You keep staring at the glow, bitch, don't go blind. Brave heart energy, fuck all of the enemies. XO Hennessy is not on me, it's in me. I'm not here to be friendly, they ain't even contending. Comprende? We've been doing gangster shit for a long time. Look inside my mind, see a gold mine. I'm my own cosign, she texting the old line. Comprende? It's up. Hit boy, you on some other shit. We on some other shit. Comprende? Yeah.